Hey, what's up everybody? Jimmy here with Mullet Creations. This is a video that I'm super excited about. I'd say that this is one of the main reasons why I decided to start a YouTube channel. This is a 1991 Ford Aerostar minivan. And there's my dog. That's Mallow. He's a Pyrenees Husky. He's about 2 years old. You guys will see a lot of him. My idea is I wanted to build a pretty substantial rock crawler. I want something that can go anywhere and do just about anything. So I started thinking of ideas of, what I wanted to build. It's like, do you want to build a Jeep Cherokee or, stuff like that. I'm a huge Ford guy, so I really didn't want to build a Jeep. So the minivan, I bought this on Marketplace. I think I paid 400 bucks for it. What I liked about this platform is, well, A, it's pretty short. I mean, you see my dog there. He's a big dog, but this van's pretty stubby. I like how close the front and rear axles are to the bumpers. So when I put my big Super Duty axles with 40s on them, they are going to stick out in front of and behind the bumpers. So I'm going to have almost zero approach angle, which is going to be super useful for rock crawling. And the van isn't very wide. I think the tires are going to stick out about a foot on either side. So that's going to be pretty cool. It'll make things a little easier for clearancing. I got a set of Super Duty axles. I bought the front from a guy off of Facebook Marketplace, and the rear came from a junkyard. And I'm into both of those less than $1,000. Some 40-inch tires. These are on some steel wheels. I flipped them around backwards because the offset's pretty atrocious on these stock wheels. This is the Sterling 10.5. It's the 2015 with the locking differential. I just got done welding on this Barnes four-wheel drive truss. Don't look at my welds too close. They hold on, but they're not super pretty or anything. I think this is going to work good for me. Large parts availability in case I break axle shafts or something out while I'm wheeling. I should be able to get axle shafts just about anywhere. I might go to chromoly's eventually, but for now I'm just going to run the stock axle shafts and see how it does. The rig's going to weigh about 5,000 pounds, so it shouldn't be too rough on these 1 tons. We've got the 05, well, it's I think this one's a 2010 Super Duty Dana 60. I did the Barnes four-wheel drive truss on here, and I did the Barnes four-wheel drive high steer kit. My plan is to do full hydro steering, so I bought the mount to mount the ram on there, and that'll make it a little easier for me with the placement of the axles on this vehicle, because it's going to be a little interesting the way I'm going to have to put these axles on here. So a regular steering setup would have been in the way for sure, and we would have had parts floating out in the middle of nowhere. I had to decide what drivetrain I wanted. I figured a Ford C6 would be a good option. Those are pretty bulletproof. An AOD would be cool, but it's not as stout as the C6. So I decided I'll do the C6. C6 four-wheel drive. Nothing too special to look at. Came out of like an 80s F-250, I think. That's going to need to be gone through. I'm half tempted to try to rebuild this myself. Then I had the decision to make on the transfer case. I like the low lows of the Atlas transfer case, but the price point is just ridiculous. I am into the rest of this project what I would have been into the Atlas. So I decided that I'm going to do the NP205. I was originally thinking of doing the 203 doubler, but for the amount of weight that adds, and it's going to cost probably $1,500 to build that doubler, I decided that I want to go with the Magnum box from Off-Road Designs. I think that's going to be a better option for me in front of that NP205. Then I got the NP205. She is a little crusty. Everything spins, it goes into all the gears, everything's fine. I have no idea what this came out of. It some sort of 70s Ford. That's when these were most prevalent. So everything seems to be in good condition. I'll rebuild it, put the twin stick kit on it, so I can do front wheel drive, rear wheel drive. Now that I have the axles, the transmission, transfer case, I decided on a motor. It's like, what Ford motor is well known for being bulletproof? I really wanted to build like a small block Ford, but everybody builds a small block Ford. You could do a 302, 351. That's what everybody does. I decided to go with Ford 300 straight six. This came out of like a 1985. I think it was F-150 or something. Yeah, I gave the guy a couple extra $100 and he pulled it out for me, and all I had to do is come pick it up. I don't know very much about this motor. It's definitely seen some miles, but she's missed a couple oil changes in her day. Guy said it was running when he pulled it out. He was parting the truck out. I will end up switching this to like a carburetor manifold, like a 4-barrel one, and probably sniper fuel injection. I think that's going to be a cool motor. It's got plenty of torque. If you guys have ever watched one of those shows on TV on Power Block, maybe it was Trucks or something, where they built the Ford 300 with the turbo, they got like 500 horsepower out of that thing. I'm probably not going to get 500 horsepower out of a Ford 300, but I'd like to build it somewhat the way that they did. Maybe a turbo in the future, but probably just good, reliable parts, so that I can have something that's going to last a long time. I'm going to have to come in, and most of this fender is going to be gone. I want to keep the edge of the wheel well right where it's at, but cut out this opening a lot bigger so I can fit bigger tires. I'm probably gonna end up like narrowing the front of this. It's gonna be fun packaging everything that I want into here. The rear is gonna be a lot easier to package. I just cut everything out that I don't want, and same as the front. I'm gonna keep the front of this wheel well exactly where it is, and just cut everything else out that I don't need. The weird thing about these vans, I didn't know this, but the hatch and the hood are both fiberglass. So I was thinking that I could just cut this all up and weld it back together and it would be pretty easy, but it's all fiberglass. So now I get to learn how to cut and splice and do all that fun stuff with fiberglass. I have never done that before, so it should be a fun little project. I know my cousin, he's done a lot of fiberglass work with jet skis and stuff like that, so I'm sure he's gonna get a phone call one day and have to help me out with that one. So when I bought this, it had a pretty full interior in it. I have gone through and I've stripped out everything. I bought these little generic racing seats. Those are going to be the two back seats. The front seats, I might actually just keep these van seats because they got this little pass through here for the harnesses. I think it might be pretty cool. I am 99% sure that I'm just going to rip all this dash out and build some sort of custom sheet metal dash in here. Obviously we're going to get a big roll cage. It's just going to follow all the body lines in here. It's going to be a big old roll cage. Probably like some 2-inch tubing. That's the size bender I have. So I'm gonna do all like custom hot rod style door panels and stuff like that. And I want to buy another set of doors for one of these vans so that I can build some half doors. I don't know exactly where, but somewhere in this, where that shadow is, she's gonna get cut off and have some half doors for some nice wheeling in the winter, and you know, when it's not 115 degrees outside. Currently this thing has some sort of 4-cylinder. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's like a 2.0 liter, somewhere in that region. It's all gonna get torn out, and it runs and drives not very well. It does not have an air filter. I don't know how long it's not had an air filter for. I drove this thing home. The tires are pretty good on it, but obviously I'm not keeping any of that stuff. I'll probably keep the engine and transmission around, maybe do some sort of weird project with it, but who knows. It'll probably just sit here and collect dust. But that's what I do. I collect old Ford parts. Hey, look in the back here. So those seats, they're probably going to sit a little farther forward than that. And back here, I need to fit some sort of fuel cell and a 40-inch spare tire. So I'm assuming the fuel cell is going to be kind of on the bottom. Above that is going to be the 40-inch spare tire. And then I want to have some sort of little toolbox to keep tools and spare parts and stuff in. Luckily, I got quite a bit of room here to work with. I don't want to make this thing too overly heavy, but I do want to have a full-size spare. And I want to have at least 25 gallons of gas for the kind of stuff that I'm going to be doing. I don't currently know how I'm going to keep the sliding side door, because obviously as soon as it starts sliding, there's a tire right there. And these new axles are going to be about a foot wider on each side. So I don't know if I'm going to try to do some sort of gull wing door, or I don't know yet. Maybe I'll have this thing hinged and open like a regular door, like a suicide door. Who knows? I'll have to figure that all out. If you guys have ever watched Owen Barlow on YouTube, he's a friend of Robbie Layton's. He has this little stub blazer, that's what he calls it, and I like the way that he has built his rig. It's very similar to this. Mine's gonna end up being probably 10 inches longer wheelbase than what he's got, but I think it'll be pretty similar. A lot of the stuff that he's done is stuff that I like. The way he narrowed the rear end and the front fenders and all that stuff. Obviously it's a totally different platform. This is a unibody suspension, or a unibody frame that's under this van, and I plan on building it just like you would build a Jeep Cherokee. It's gonna get the unibody stiffeners, and nobody makes a kit for a 91 Ford Aerostar, so that's all gonna be, you know, cardboard-aided design stuff. I'll buy some 3/16 steel, make some cardboard templates, cut it out, weld it in, move on, cut it out, weld it in. Just do that for the whole outside and bottom sides of the frame. I'm not entirely sure about the inside of the frame. I don't know if you're supposed to put stiffeners on the inside or not, but we'll see. Maybe in certain structural areas I'll do something like that. This is a project that I'm definitely currently working on. It's not a future project, it's a current project. I just got done doing these axles last night, so, and today is what, like the 3rd of January, so we'll be working on this and hopefully filming some videos here. I'm very new to all this filming while I'm working stuff. It's going to be interesting, but we shall see how it goes. If you guys got any questions, shoot a comment down below. I'll be replying to all the comments that I see, and let me know what you guys think. If you guys have some suggestions, I mean, I already got my mind made up so far, but I'm always open to criticism and stuff like that. If you guys like this kind of stuff that you see, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing this a lot more often now. Hoping to get a couple of videos out here to start with, and just see where it goes. I think that a lot of people will benefit from this type of content. I mean, I'm learning as I go, so maybe if you're trying to learn how to do something, you can learn from what I'm learning. I usually just watch somebody else build something, and then I can recreate it from there. That's my learning style. I'm a visual learner, and that seems to be what works for me. Again, my name's Jimmy, and thanks for watching.